Hey guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are watching Season 3, Episode 7 of Battlestar Galactica. We are on a to-be-continued sort of situation. Last time we discovered that there is something capable of hurting the Cylons, making them sick. And we don't know exactly what it is or where it came from. Gaius said it was, or I can't remember if it was Gaius or the six that was on the ship, said it was definitely man-made. So, you know, it wasn't our humans, so I can only assume it was the humans that are on Earth that were left behind, or the 13th colony, so to speak. Currently, we have Sharon, aka Athena, and they have discovered it. So our humans are gonna discover it, and we're just gonna see how it goes. I hope that she does not get sick and it does not hurt her in any way, because she was in the vicinity of the virus. We also have Starbuck and Ty's continuing sort of defiance / just really rough time they're going through right now with all of the trauma that has been inflicted on both of them lately. So we'll see kind of where they go from here. What else? We also have Gaius lying to the Cylons about the device that he knows caused the sickness. And we have Caprica 6 knowing that Gaius lied. So we're going to have to see how that works out for him in the end. So, without any further rambling by yours truly, let's just get into this episode and find out what kind of part 2 is all about. No, they're taking her. No, don't take her. I mean, they don't know.
So what the hell happened here?
Something that hurts Cylons. No, well, she's not even gonna wear a helmet or anything. Y'all need, you don't have Gaius to make a cure. This stresses me out. Yeah.
What the hell?
Is that Sharon? Don't touch it. Oh God, this is bad.
You sure you want to do that?
No, she
That's how it works.
You okay?
Yeah, the data points are almost completely corroded. I don't know if I'm gonna get much out of here, but let's try.
It's whatever is in the beacon thing.
What is going on?
Oh, she's not dead yet.
We got a live one over here!
Oh.
Denali, Peters, cover the major. They're alive! Galactica, Apollo, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 living skin dogs down here. I say again, 5 living.
Leoben and one of the sixes. Oh.
Major, what do we do? Should we take him out? Hold your fire! Hold your fire! I said, hold your fire! What are they doing?
They're praying? I think.
Hey, Athena, what are you doing? Athena! What are you doing? Athena!
Where is she?
I said,
Traitor.
Save yourself. From what? Get away from us.
Yeah.
What happened here?
Be touching.
The beacon. We brought it on board. Carried it disease.
Yep.
We're infected.
Infected?
Yep.
Son of a bitch!
It doesn't affect humans as far as we know. But of course, Gaius was in like full hazmat gear in the last episode, so who knows if it could affect humans without any hazmat gear on. Like, we don't actually know, to be fair.
They'll have to come aboard under quarantine procedures. Clear a path from the hangar deck to sickbay and sterilize
Coddle.
it. And the Raptors after they're in.
I'll handle that.
I guess Doc Coddle could figure out stuff too.
The disease is more advanced in their systems, so it'll give me at least an idea of what to expect as it progresses. And when they die, it'll tell me how long our people have to live.
Will it though? Because Cylons and humans aren't exactly the same.
Base ship exploded, must have self-destructed. You guys are lucky you got out when you did.
Roger that.
Did it self-destruct? Did Athena do that? I'm not.
Nothing the matter, I trust.
We have some questions.
How long have you planned to betray us, guys?
Oh, she told her?
Funny.
Did she tell her that he lied?
You're joking, of course.
You're only making this harder on yourself.
Wait a minute. I have been more than very accommodating since I arrived here. I helped you find Sharon's baby. I've helped you with a map towards Earth.
We know about the beacon, guys.
You knew it was out there. You knew it contained a deadly virus.
No, I didn't. I didn't. It's not
Was the
true.
virus created by Galactica?
No.
Have you been in contact with them since you've been on board?
How could he?
Did you plan this before the evacuation of New
He's
Caprica?
been stuck in that room for however long.
Yes, I did discover it on the base ship, and I should have told you about it sooner, and I didn't. Because I thought, you try and link me, to the virus, which is, what's going on right now.
That's
I was
true.
wrong, and it was a mistake, and I fully admit my responsibility. It will never happen again, and I hope you accept my most,
Sincere.
my most humble apology.
Sincere apology, guys. Looking for.
On a brighter note, I have a working theory as to where this beacon may.
Sorry, guys. Things would have been so much simpler had you only told the truth.
Surely they won't kill him.
We think you know more about this virus, and we intend to find out.
They're gonna torture him? Damn. I guess Caprica 6 really is different than she used to be.
The pain.
It's all in your head, guys.
Yeah, that's where
Pain and pleasure, they're just neural impulses sent to the brain. You decide how to interpret them.
it's not
They can be pleasant
super accurate.
or unpleasant.
Are you torturing him or her?
I wanted to stop Gaius.
Sound.
I don't want you to feel this pain. And neither does Caprica, do you?
No.
Well, then you could
I love you.
just stop torturing him. Crazy thought.
You can kiss my infected ass.
Well, you can kiss it, but it's not infected. I got your blood work
Yep.
back. Humans are immune to the virus. You're all healthy.
That's what we thought.
All right, people, nice job.
But Athena!
The disease is carried by rodents, rats mostly, but a couple of 100 years ago, humans developed an immunity. Now I can create a simple vaccine that will dramatically reverse the effect of the virus on the Cylons.
Okay.
But they have an antibody in their blood which breaks down the RNA of the vaccine. So they will need regular close interval injections of the vaccine, or they will die.
Okay.
Can I ask the ugly question here? Is there any reason to keep them alive?
Well, we have a reason to keep Athena alive.
They're ready to die.
They may be ready to die, but it doesn't mean that one of them won't jump at a second chance.
That's true. I mean, they knew that they wouldn't get resurrected.
If one of us dies
They could carry it back to the resurrection.
and is resurrected, the disease will follow, infecting the resurrection ship and the fleet.
Why were you in this area in the first place?
We were sent here to look for the Lion Nebula.
They know Gaius did that.
Baltar
Okay, well, he just flat out told him.
said it would point the way to Earth.
What did you just say?
Baltar's alive.
Baltar, he's on our base ship. He's helping us find Earth.
Being forced
Using our
to help.
navigation charts
Being forced
with our map.
to help.
Cobble. He's leading them to Earth.
Being forced to. Again.
We want a new beginning. Much like you.
You could go somewhere else.
I think I just thought of a way to solve all of our problems. To get rid of the Cylon threat for once and for all. We can wipe them out. We can destroy the entire Cylon race.
Please tell me you're not thinking chemical warfare, which was my worry of y'all discovering this in the last episode, Lee, because, you know.
This could be the end of the Cylons entirely.
Forever. Genocide?
Yeah. Thank you.
So that's what we're about now.
Thank you. Thank you, Hilo.
We do this. We wipe out their race.
We're no better than them.
Then we're no different than they are.
Because that's what they try to do.
Captain, I respectfully disagree.
Wiping them out with a biological weapon is a crime against humanity.
Yes.
They're not human, they're programmed.
I'm with Hilo. Not fully, but mostly.
It was a coincidence.
There's no such thing as coincidence.
There actually is.
God wills the universe according to his design.
Now, focus on her. As a Cylon, not a woman. Be a scientist. Examine her faith. What's your analysis, Doctor?
I'm a scientist. And as a scientist, I believe if God exists, our knowledge of him is imperfect. Why?
Because the stories and myths we have are the products of men, the passage of time.
The religion you practice is based on a theory, impossible to prove, yet you bestow it with absolutes like there is no such thing as coincidence.
It's called faith.
Absolute belief in God's will means there's a reason for everything. Everything. And yet, you can't help ask yourself how God can allow death and destruction and then despise yourself for asking. But the truth is, if we knew God's will, we'd all be gods, wouldn't we? I can see it in your eyes, Diana. You're frustrated. You're conflicted. Let me help you. Let me help you change. Find a way to reconcile your faith with fact. Find a way towards a rational universe.
I don't know what your game is, but it's not going to work. You intentionally led one of our ships to that beacon, didn't you?
Ah!
What's that?
Give your body to me. Only your mind is there. Feel me. Feel this where she wants you to feel me. Look at me. Look at me, guys. Do you want me to believe you were saving it? Do you? Do you? Say it.
I want you to believe in me. Don't stop. Don't stop. Please, please don't stop. You have to believe in me. You're all I have left. Oh.
Now tell me you believe in me. Tell me you believe in my strength.
I believe in you. I believe in you. I love you.
It's just a very fucking weird scene. Does she think he's talking about, I mean, I guess it would make sense if she thinks he's talking about her.
How?
Cottle said it had something to do with carrying a half-human child. How the fetal blood cells into the maternal circulatory system, causing the mother to create antibodies, whatever.
Oh, yay!
I'm immune.
Yay!
Oh.
That's awesome. Makes me feel so much better.
Baby. Saved my life. She's gone forever and she saved my life. Her gift is together.
Well, she's not gone forever, but she did save your life.
They're gonna execute the infected prisoners. But not until we jump into the Cylon region. With the resurrection ship present. The infection's gonna spread everywhere. You were a person before you put on that uniform, okay? You were a person before I fell in love with you. You don't have to prove that.
I have to prove it every day. Let me tell you something, Hilo.
You don't have to prove it to him is what he means, I think.
My people may die. My entire race may be wiped out. This Cylon. Keep her word, even if it means she's the last Cylon left in the universe. Can a human being do that?
Posterity really doesn't look too kindly on genocide.
You're making an assumption that posterity will define this as genocide. If they do, at least there'll be someone alive to hate us for it. All right, Admiral Adama, as president, I have determined the Cylons be made extinct. Use of biological weapons is authorized.
Well, this is what I worried about.
So say we all.
No. I do not say. I disagree.
So say we all.
So say not all of we, us. Sorry.
They're already dead. They're already dead.
Oh. How are they already dead?
Sir, you should hear this.
They were dead before the resurrection ship was in range. They didn't download the disease. We missed our window.
How did they die? Was it what Hilo did?
Seems like they're always coming for one of us.
Well, Hilo, you made this choice, so you have to understand that they're gonna come for you.
If it was a mistake, fine. I can live with that.
I don't know if they'll let you live with it.
The prisoners died of asphyxiation.
Yeah.
The air purification system was reversed. Sucked the oxygen out.
That's what I figured.
When this happens, the deadbolts are automatically activated on the door. Someone did this manually.
Someone? Seems to me there's only one or two likely suspects. Who will head the investigation?
No one. Closing the book on this.
How convenient.
I'm glad. He disagreed with it anyway.
Cottle's report on the virus. He thinks that it was simply an accidental contamination of the beacon we abandoned on the sick base ship.
Oh, really?
Somebody sneezed, maybe.
Yeah, an entire race almost wiped out because someone forgot to wipe their nose.
Dang, that's crazy. So it wasn't on purpose at all.
The virus was an exact match to one reported over 3,000 years ago. Right around the time that the 13th colony left Cobalt.
Beacon.
Oh.
was a signpost.
I think we're on the right trail, Laura.
Yes, we are on the right trail, Bill. So are the Cylons.
Yep. Okay. That was like a kind of a random end. I'm glad that they're not going to punish Hilo, though, because I think that stopping genocide is like the right thing to do, and I'm glad that Adama agrees. Okay, so first off, I am so glad that Hilo made the choice that he made. I was really worried that it was going to backfire on him and it was going to get a lot of humans killed, and then I would still feel like it was the right choice, but just one with a very high cost, right? So I'm glad that it doesn't seem like we lost anybody, and we also, you know, the humans did not become like the Cylons and commit mass genocide of an entire race of sentient beings, right? Now, I disagree with Hilo when he said that the Cylons tried to live with the humans on New Caprica, because, like I've said in previous episodes, well, one, he wasn't there, so he does not know all of the shit that was happening. But two, I think New Caprica was the perfect chance for the Cylons to do just that, right? To change the narrative, to stop being the villains in the story, and actually try to live side by side with the humans. However, having seen the shit that went down on New Caprica, like, they did not do that. They did not try to live with the humans. They tried to subjugate the humans. They tried to put themselves higher in the food chain and enslave, subjugate, torture, kill the humans, right? So I think that Hilo, one, since he was on the Galactica, doesn't really know like the full extent of what actually happened, which was sort of what Ty was arguing about in the last episode. So that honestly does give a little bit of validity to what Ty was saying, that the people on the Galactica don't really know how hard it was and like the trauma that the people on the ground of New Caprica dealt with. So while I disagreed with Ty doing saying what he was saying in a way that was trying to other people, right? So it's like us against them within the human community. Like, obviously that doesn't need to happen. He doesn't need to create division. But I do think that based off of what Hilo said here, that he is right to an extent that there is a misunderstanding about what happened. Now, I think Hilo's probably the only one that sees it as the Cylons trying to live with the humans because of his attachment to and love for Sharon, aka Athena. So I think that he's probably the only one who sees it that way. But aside from that very wrong statement, I think that he is right, and he was right to say, like, this is chemical, biological, whatever, you know, I guess more biological warfare, and this is wrong. Like, I think that throughout the show there's a lot of questions, or the question arises a lot of, like, at what point when fighting your enemy do you become your enemy because you take it to the same dark, horrific place that they did, right? And so I think that it's good that Hilo pointed that out and that Adama agreed with him and ultimately isn't going to punish him for his decision to not be a part of that, because that is what this whole show, this entire scenario started out, because the Cylons came and committed genocide against the humans. Excuse me. And so for the humans to then commit genocide against the Cylons and to possibly wipe out their entire race from existence is, I mean, it's shitty, right? Like I'm always saying in this show, you can't fight evil by becoming evil. Like, you can't expect to, I don't know, like I said, you can't fight evil by becoming evil and then expect to still be good at the end of it. You know, like that's just not how it works. And I'm glad that even if it's sort of accidentally because of a single human thinking that it wasn't worth it, the humans are better than the Cylons because one human decided to be better, right? And sometimes that's all that it takes. And I'm disappointed in Rosalind. I was so excited and happy for her at the end of, was it the last episode or the episode before, when she pardoned people and she just, you know, I felt made the right decision and she was back in charge and she was doing the good thing versus Zarek, who wanted to do the bad thing and everything. And it's like, that's kind of constantly Rosalind's character though, right? It's like she makes a good choice and you're like, fuck yes, I'm so happy, I'm back on your side. And then in the next breath, she makes like a horrific, horrible choice. And you're like, why you gotta do this? Why do you have to do this? I don't know. It's interesting because she has very, I don't know what the word is, like waning morality sometimes, because she'll be very moral and like very like, this is the right thing to do and this is what we need to do. And you're like, yeah, I agree. And then sometimes she'll be like, but should we commit genocide? Like, I don't know. It just makes it hard to root for her. I'm honestly very disappointed in Apollo as well for his arguing for genocide in this episode, because I feel like, I don't know. I was gonna say, I feel like Apollo of like season 1 wouldn't do that. Of course, this Apollo has gone through a lot of things and he's changed in a lot of ways since season 1. But I guess Apollo has always been sort of anti-Cylon, especially after Boomer shot Adama that one time and almost killed him. So I don't know. I think that interestingly, Adama, who was initially like the most anti-Cylon of them all, is sort of coming more around than Apollo because of his connection with and closeness with Sharon. So it's interesting to see those roles sort of reverse. I'm also very curious as to like when Starbuck got back on duty, because in the last episode, in the very end of the last episode, Adama was like, you're off duty until you get your shit together. And there was like a step made in the right direction, but I didn't feel like she actually had her shit together yet. So apparently now she does. I don't know. I'm unsure about that. So apparently the virus was not intentional. The humans of Earth have not discovered a way to defeat the Cylons. So most of my theories in the last episode regarding the humans of Earth and the 5 Cylon models that remain unknown are probably irrelevant and incorrect, as usual with this show. But yeah, so it was a disease that whatever human that was on the 13th colony of Earth happened to have 3,000 years ago when they put up the beacon to allow anybody else, any other humans who might seek them out to follow to get to Earth. That just happened to be something that the Cylons never developed antibody against, because of the fact that they were made after humans had already sort of evolved to the point where that disease wasn't relevant anymore. Right? I think so. Yeah. But I'm still curious about if there's going to be a bunch of humans on Earth, like what's going to happen when they actually get to Earth, who these other 5 Cylon models are, if they have anything to do with the humans that went to Earth. Yeah, I don't really know enough about the 5 Cylon models to try to figure out who they are. But I also think the thing is, when Hilo's talking about, and sorry, this is changing the subject, but when Hilo's talking about Sharon being an individual and how she was always a person, even before she put on the uniform and she, you know, did X, Y, and Z and everything. Like, I think that he is right in that instance, because I think that the Cylons have proven to be individuals as well. They don't all act as one. They don't all think the same, even though they are the same. I think that there is an argument to be made that the Cylons are individual sentient life forms. Now, as a whole, they have done evil. As individuals, maybe they wouldn't. But I think that, like, it's kind of the same argument with humanity, right? Like, as a whole, humanity has done a lot of evil in the world. You know, our world, just the one we live in right now. But not all humans are evil, right? So Cylons as a whole have done a lot of evil. But does that mean that each individual Cylon is evil? Not necessarily. So, yeah. I also, like, Gaius's scene was a bit strange. I understand with Head 6 that he was trying to, and she was trying to, give him a way to overcome the physical pain. It was this idea of mind over matter, right? Like, you can shut off, I mean, I don't know to the extent to which it's actually possible, but you can stop pain, again, to an extent, by thinking of something else mentally to sort of distract yourself from whatever is happening to you physically. In the same way, I guess, that, you know, sometimes physical pain can distract you from mental pain that you're going through, right? So that's what that scene was to me. Now, is 3, and I think that is 3, if I'm remembering correctly, that was torturing Gaius. Does she have, like, a soft spot for Gaius? Does she think he was talking to her when he was saying, I love you? Like, is she, like, sort of, like, crushing on him? Like, I'm not really sure how that situation is going to evolve, but I'm curious about it, because as we know, Gaius was talking to Head 6, and 6 in general is who Gaius seems to have an affection for. And so I'm curious about how that whole situation is going to play out. Also, I want to acknowledge that someone told me in the comments on Patreon that I keep ignoring Head 6 when she says that she's an angel of God. And I keep being like, what could she possibly be? And they're like, hello. She's literally told you multiple times. And I think that my reason for that actually is very relevant in this episode, because I think that I always have taken it as she's speaking metaphorically. And I guess I just dismissed the possibility that she was actually speaking like she's an angel of God as truth and not metaphor, because so far in Battlestar Galactica, there's no substantiated, verifiable proof that God is real. Like, the Cylons believe in God, but there's no actual proof that he exists in this world. Now, in something like Supernatural, when you meet Cass and he's like, I'm an angel of the Lord, I'm like, yeah, of course he is, because that makes sense. The entire show is based on the premise that supernatural beings are real and with us, and there's an actual tangible heaven and hell and all these creatures in between. Now, on Battlestar Galactica, there's never been an actual tangible proof of heaven or hell or God or the gods or anything like that, right? Like, there's been the Scrolls of Pythia, which Rosalind, sorry, my brain's not working, followed, and they found the tomb of Athena, and they were able to open it and find the constellation that is the way to Earth, right? So if anything, there's been proof of the gods, but not God, right? So my whole thing with her and not just immediately believing that she's an angel, which she says, is because I don't know, there's not been proof. I guess what I'm saying is I won't immediately dismiss it outright when she says it again, I suppose, because there is evidence that she has told Gaius things that he could not possibly have known subconsciously. So she can't simply be a manifestation of his subconscious. She has to be something else. So that's a point in her favor. But I don't know. I'm not fully ready to believe that she's an angel of God, because that would also mean that I have to believe that the God in this Battlestar Galactica universe is okay with genocide, you know? Or am I just supposed to believe that that was an incorrect interpretation of him for them? In which case, I guess that makes sense, because like how many wars, like I've already said before, have been fought because of religion in our world. Of course, there's no tangible proof for God in our world, so I don't know. I don't know if Battlestar Galactica is going to say, like, here's tangible proof that God exists, or the gods, or whoever in this universe. But so far, we haven't had that. So that's why when she says she's an angel of God, and that they're, like, agents of God, like the Cylons have said in the past, I'm just not fully believing it, right? Unless this show is going to take like a super dark view of God, which, I mean, Supernatural already kind of did that, so wouldn't be surprised, but yeah. Anyway, I feel bad for Gaius. Like, I don't understand the Cylons to a large extent, right? Like, I feel like, since they're supposed to be like sentient beings, but who are made machines, right? But have some sort of ability to cognitively think and have thoughts that make them a life form. I suppose because of the mechanical parts of them, I think that like they wouldn't torture, they wouldn't kill, they wouldn't have these motivations to do these bad things, but they do. So I sort of am conflicted about them in that way, because I feel like I don't understand why, if they're purporting themselves to be this more enlightened version of humans, because humans are, like, according to Cylons, bad, right? Like, they're like, you know, humans are sinful and X, Y, and Z. Like, we're the more evolved, higher functioning, whatever life form. Like, then why are you doing the same things that are the bad things that humans have done? Like torture, like kill, like, you know, X, Y, and Z. Like, if you're supposed to be better, you know? Anyway, that's just an ongoing issue that I've had with the Cylons since the beginning. But anyway, I don't think I have too much more to say. I'm glad that Sharon was immune because of her and Hilo's baby. I still worry about when she finds out that that baby is alive and that Adama knew the whole time, because, you know, they have a very close budding friendship. So I'm worried about that. I'm still curious as to how Starbuck is back. Curious as to where Ty is and how he's doing, because last we saw he was getting super, super, super drunk in his quarters, and I worry that he might die. Just feel bad for Gaius, and I feel bad for him, because now the humans know that Gaius is helping the Cylons, and like they don't understand that he's literally being forced to help the Cylons and literally being tortured. They're just like, oh, there goes Gaius again, betraying everybody. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's all that I have to say. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, well, if you're hearing this, you watched. Anyway, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube. While you're over there, you can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica, including the miniseries and the Resistance episodes. That is over there as well. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, so I hope to see you guys next time, where who knows what will happen. Until then, bye guys!